A political giant has fallen.
Yeah.
Alex Salmond,
Big news.
former First Minister of Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
dead at 69,
Wow.
attending some kind of cultural forum
Oh, really?
in North Macedonia.
No kidding.
Like,
What?
I know, right?
It's almost Shakespearean. Speaking at an event, about bridging divides through culture,
Right.
1 minute and then gone the next.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does, about the legacy we leave behind, all that. It's a fascinating final act when you think about it. I mean, the setting, Salmond, he was a man who he thrived on the world stage. So, I don't know, there's a kind of poetry to it ending like this, thousands of miles from the Scottish Parliament, a place he dominated for so long.
Right, right.
But for those who, might not recognize the name, let's rewind a bit. Who was Alex Salmond and what made him such a force?
Okay, so rewind. He was the leader of the Scottish National Party
The SNP.
for decades.
A long time.
And the longest-serving First Minister of Scotland. And then, of course, a key figure in that whole push for Scottish independence.
You're a huge figure.
But it wasn't all straightforward, was it? There were
Yeah.
complications.
Oh, absolutely. Even his obituary, and I'm not making this up, described him as a man and politician of contradictions, which, gotta say, that's some A-plus obituary writing right there.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, Salmond, he was brilliant. Ruthless, some might say, but a brilliant political operator. He understood the Scottish psyche like few others. He could be incredibly charming, persuasive, a master at captivating an audience.
Oh, yeah.
But that charm, it could also be used to silence critics, to steamroll opposition. He was a man who, he inspired incredible loyalty, but also deep, deep animosity.
See, and that's what makes it all so fascinating. It's not just about policies. It's about the man himself. So how's the world reacting?
Tributes, honestly, it's been a torrent of them from all sides of the political spectrum, which, knowing Salmond's, talent for making both allies and enemies, that's really saying something.
I bet. Nicola Sturgeon, the current First Minister, she was Salmond's protege once. I mean, way back. They became deeply estranged in recent years.
Right.
But even she called him a mentor, despite their very public falling out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have British Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
Certainly had his disagreements with Salmond on policy.
Yeah.
Called him a monumental figure.
It's like everyone's trying to figure out where they stand, on this incredibly complex legacy. What about the Scottish independence movement itself? What happens to that? Salmond's Alba Party, they vowed that his dream will never die. Where does that leave things?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, Salmond's death, it doesn't just make the issue of Scottish independence go away. If anything, it shines a brighter light on it. And it's important to remember the SNP, the party Salmond led, it's been divided, deeply divided, over how best to actually achieve independence. Salmond, he argued for a much more, I'd say, aggressive approach. Now, with him gone, well, it'll be fascinating to see how the dynamics within the party shift.
I can't even imagine. Will his death galvanize the movement? Or will it fracture it further?
So much to consider. How will Salmond's death and these tributes from all across the political spectrum shape the future of the Scottish independence movement? It's a question we'll be asking for years to come.
Absolutely.
I'm host Neem.
And I am expert Name.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.